Yes, Dirksey Camp Ice is here as well. All right, so this is a citation. It was written on July 15th of this year on 124th Avenue there in Wayland Township, County, State of Michigan. It's a civil infraction following too closely. Ma'am, you're here on this citation to do one of three things. First is you could admit responsibility to the citation, or two, admit responsibility, but you'd like to provide some sort of explanation as to how or why this happened. Or three, you wish to contest this citation. In other words, fight the ticket at what we call informal hearing. What were you looking to do?
Probably fight it.
All right. Then I would ask you and the deputy to go ahead and raise your right hand so I can swear you in. You swear or affirm any testimony that you give here today would be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Ma'am, it makes a lot more sense for me to start with the deputy. He has the burden to establish to me why he issued you a citation in the first place. But after that, you'll have an opportunity to either ask him questions or testify on your own behalf. All right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And with that, Deputy Miller, you want to pick up the narrative somewhere where it makes sense and explain the issuing of this citation.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. As indicated on July 15th, 2023 at approximately 10:27 a.m., I was traveling westbound on 124th Avenue, in which I had my cruise set at 55 miles per hour zone, being that it was a 55-mile road. At the time that there was a vehicle behind me, at which time I saw a third car come up behind the second car behind me that was very close. As we were traveling along, the third car, which would be Miss Camp Ice's car, pulled out and went to pass. It presumed upon seeing the patrol car, being that I was doing 55, she ducked quickly back behind the second car, in which there was less than 1 car length between the two cars. At this time, I pulled off to the side, let her go by, at which time I initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle. I then identified the driver, the Camp Ice, and speaking with her, I advised her that the rule of thumb was generally 1 car length per 10 miles an hour, and that she was closer to that vehicle and should have stopped. Suddenly, an accident would be inevitable. Upon speaking with Ms. Camp Ice, she stated that she knew she was closer than the 3-second rule. As I gave her citation for following too closely, she made the comment that there was 3 other cars that did the same thing, and that why I did not pull them over. I had complained to Ms. Camp Ice that it was impossible to stop them, being that I was dealing with a traffic stop with her, and that I just could not leave and go attend to the other cars. As a result of this incident, I did issue her citation number SD20716 for following too close. And upon explaining the citation, Ms. Camp Ice advised that she knew how to type the ticket. I have nothing further at this time, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, and what is it you'd like to tell me?
I clarified correct the way that he said it. I was there was 2 cars in front of me. The first car was going 47, and so I decided that I would pass. And upon deciding to pass, I saw on my left there was like a branch in the road. And so as I was going to pass, I stopped passing and got in behind that other car to avoid what was in the road. And so I know that, you have to, give proper distance, but I didn't want to hit what was in the road. And I have, I was traveling from a cottage to my house. I was in no reason to be in a hurry. I do that drive, a few times a week. And I had a 15-year-old son, now 16, in the front seat of the car. And I couldn't really give him a reason why it happened. I mean, you go to pass somebody, so of course you're going to be close to them, but following too closely didn't occur at all.
Okay, ma'am. Well, essentially, you don't have a ticket here for speeding. You have a ticket for tailgating.
Well,
so do you have a recollection, or would you like to provide testimony of how close you were to the car in front of you? The officers already provided that testimony.
Right. Well, as you're going to pass somebody, when you're obviously going to be close to them when you're going to pass them. So that makes total sense that I was close. But when you go to pass somebody, you're always going to be right next to them. Right. I mean, I guess I'm unsure of.
Sure. But here's the problem is you wouldn't have time to react. That's why there's a safe distance. You're supposed to be following another car. If you're inside of that distance, then you don't have the human reaction time to react to what they're doing. That's why you got the ticket.
The only reason why I was close to that car was because I was going to pass them. And when you pass somebody, you're literally like right next to the car, when you're passing.
What do you mean by, well, yeah. You mean next to, like, side by side? That's not
right,
what you have a
like
ticket for.
That's what
That's not what you have a ticket for. What you have a ticket for is the front of your car getting too close to the back of their car while you were traveling in the same lane of traffic. Not that you were too close to the car next to it while passing.
That didn't happen. I wasn't close to the car behind me.
Okay. That's not the testimony of the officer, but I'll have the officer reiterate just so you're clear. Officer, did you write a ticket for following too close because she was too close when she was parallel to the vehicle that was behind you?
No, it's because she was directly behind it, less than one car length. As she approached the second car, the car that was behind me, she approached very close. And then, like I said, she went to go to pass that car. And upon passing that car and approaching to my car, it's assumed that, because she didn't say it, saw my patrol car stop suddenly and got right behind the other car and followed right behind the other car at a very close distance, in which that second car would stop, and an accident would have been inevitable.
Yes, ma'am. So the ticket is for when you're following the car, not when you're passing the car.
I understand that, but I didn't know that it was a police officer when I was going to pass him. It's an unmarked vehicle. I didn't know that. And the only reason why I got in behind that car was because there was something in the road. So is your choice to hit whatever's in the road? I mean, I didn't know.
Okay, ma'am. Again, that's not the period of time that we're talking about that you have a ticket for. The period of time you have a ticket for is as you're driving behind this car. You're too close. It seems to me that you don't understand and that's your testimony, but what I've heard from the officer, I would find you responsible on this citation as it's written, that you were too close to that vehicle. And we're not maintaining a safe distance from that vehicle. Here's what you need to understand.
It says objects in here are closer than they appear. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense how he could have seen that and still been paying attention to the front of whatever was in front of him.
Well, that's what he does for a living. So I already heard the testimony. Sure. Man, this is time for my ruling. All right. You had time to present your case, and 80% of what you presented was not relevant for your ticket. So you do have a right, because you had a contested hearing, to say, I don't agree with that, and appeal this to formal hearing with the prosecutor's office in front of the district court judges. But you must do that within 7 days of today's date, and you must do that formally in writing. Otherwise, the opportunity to continue to pursue this closes. Do you understand your rights on appeal? Is that a yes, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're all set then. I'm going to go ahead and release you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.